What is going on, everybody? If you've forgotten who I am Michael Rung. I used to do YouTube videos. Being a little overly dramatic, it's been 6-7 months since my last video, but even though I said when I started the channel, or at least I told myself when I started the channel, I would never do one of these channel updates or status of the channel videos, I felt it was kind of warranted given the extended break that I've taken from putting out new content. The last video I released was in, call it mid to late October of 2022. So again, 6-7 months ago, for the big Adobe Max updates related to Lightroom Classic and Lightroom Desktop. My intent was to follow that video up with a couple additional videos taking a closer look at some of the new features within Lightroom, and then life kind of happened. Without getting into all the boring details, our oldest dog got diagnosed with cancer, had surgery to remove a mass, which fortunately went well. We then decided to go ahead and have her do radiation therapy to hopefully extend her life longer and not have to worry about the cancer coming back. But so far, she is happy and healthy and doing as best as can be expected, given she's an almost 14-year-old German Shepherd. But needless to say, that really threw things for a loop in terms of not only my time and availability to concentrate on putting videos together, but also just, if I'm being perfectly honest, my mental state. I was very, very worried about the dog. So from about early October, right before that Lightroom video was released, until really early January, she was going through the whole process with the surgery, recovery from the surgery, then the radiation therapy. On top of all of that, my own health wasn't doing all that great. I have a chronic condition. I have Crohn's disease, and I haven't talked about it. It's really neither here nor there, but for the better part of 18 months, maybe going on 2 years now, I've been struggling to get that back under control and back in remission. I was doing really well in the early part of 2022, and then probably partly made worse by the stress of worrying about the dog and everything. I really started suffering from some severe fatigue issues as the end of the year approached. Fortunately, I was able to go out and photograph, but anytime I would go out or do anything that had any kind of physical exertion, I would find myself completely wiped out the rest of the day, or if not into the next day. And that kind of built and built, at the same time trying to work with my doctor and getting insurance on board with changing my medication a little bit. So anyways, I had a lot of things kind of coming to a head all at once. Now, in the midst of all that and leading up to the release of my Lightroom video back in October, I was working on a huge project behind the scenes, and I might have actually mentioned it in the Lightroom video. It's been long enough at this point, I don't recall. But I was working on my first ever folio, or collection of prints in the limited edition folio. I am a big fan of Ben Horn's work. Actually, with my new layout here, I was able to get some prints up, and this one is one of my favorites of his. Sorry, Ben, I don't remember the title of it right now, but happy to have that on my wall. And Ben every year does a folio or a box set collection of his favorite images from the preceding year. So I love that idea, and I've been wanting to do something myself to offer a little bit more of a, I guess, lower price point or point of entry for somebody that's wanting to get some prints of mine but can't afford to get a larger print. So I decided to borrow from Ben's idea and put together a folio of my own. It comes in a soft touch paper folio. It's custom embossed, Michael Rung photography. Look for the Light Volume 1. And it includes 10 of my favorite prints that I've made myself on my own printer sitting right here. I didn't ship these out to some third party to print for me and hope what I got. I controlled the process from start to finish. But anyways, it includes 10 of my fine art prints. They're on the exact same paper my larger prints come on. It's Red River Palo Duro Etching 315. It's a museum grade, archival grade, wonderful matte finish, nicely textured paper using the pigment ink, so the Canon printer. It includes 10 of my prints. So you've got, let's see if I can get that in there. It's kind of blown out with the studio light, but I've got Witch's Hand. I've got 3 shots from Yosemite in here. I've got some Oklahoma representation. I'm doing a horrible job of showing this off. But anyways, this was a huge undertaking. I have a tremendous appreciation for all the work that Ben Horn has been putting into these things over the years. Learning it for the first go-around was certainly a huge process. But this is a limited edition. I do still have copies available. I did price them in a tiered base system or setup, whatever you want to call it. So the first tier is the cheapest or least expensive, and then it goes up gradually over the course of 3 additional tiers before they sell out. So currently, I do still have the lowest price point available at $125 for the folio. That gets you the folio, the 10 fine art prints, certificate of authenticity, as well as access When you receive it, you get a link and a QR code. You can go out and watch a video that I put together. It gives a little bit of a behind the scenes or behind the photo rundown of each of the images within here, why they're special to me, what was involved in making them, printing them, so on and so forth. So if you're interested, I will drop that link down below. So that was a huge labor of love. I can't even begin to calculate how many hours and days and weeks I spent working on all this and scrambling to get it together. I honestly got it together too late in the year, but I got it out there. So mission accomplished. Now, right about that point, I was also working to get the Lightroom video ready to go for the Adobe Max releases. And then the dogs thing came up and my health issues started rearing up a little bit more than what they had been earlier in the year. So everything kind of culminated. Like I said, I was fortunate, even with my fatigue issues, I was able to get out and photograph. I did have to cancel a planned fall trip back to Utah that was planned for mid-November, given what was going on with the dog. And honestly, I was a little concerned just from my own aspect with the fatigue. So I did have to cancel that. I was able to sneak away to Oklahoma for a really short visit, but I had to cut that short as well because my partner needed help with the dog. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have gone to begin with. But I got some great photos, some of my favorite photos of the year. I was able to get within the day and a half, 2 days. I was in Oklahoma. And then after really expecting to have a terrible fall color season here in Texas, which in North Texas, we never really have a great fall to begin with. It's always kind of, it's okay. But thankfully, after the horrible drought that we had over the summer months, we ended up having a fantastic fall season here locally in Fort Worth and really throughout Texas. And I was able to get out a few times and just still, I cannot believe the the colors that we had this year. It was mind blowing. So very thankful for that, because if not for that, I really wouldn't have anything from this past fall to add to my portfolio, my print offerings, so on and so forth. To that end, even though I took a break from YouTube, I was still busy, especially towards the end of the year and into 2023, kind of revamping some things on my website and getting some new offerings ready. The first thing I put together, in addition to the folio or after the folio, was a collection of those new photos from fall season of 2022 from Oklahoma and Texas. I decided to present those as an ebook for the first time. I've never done an ebook before, but several other photographers like Sarah Marino, her partner Ron, I believe Michael Bellino, Beth Young have done ebook formats for new portfolio or gallery releases. And I really like that because it gives a little bit more cohesive design and feel, and you can control things a little bit better than just throwing stuff up on social media. So in my infinite wisdom, I decided, why not take that on as well? But I'm very excited to say that I do have an ebook available. It is free. You can download it from my website. That's the other thing I did, is I built out a new free downloads page, which I'll link down below. And you can go there and download the ebook. It's called An Explosion of Color. It includes nearly 40 new images, as well as some introductory words and 15 short essays or thoughts attached to some of the images and the experiences of shooting them during the fall season. So if you're interested in that, again, go to the free downloads link in the description below, and you can go grab that and take a look at it. And I would be very grateful. And then on top of that, I decided to yet again do a 2023 or an annual desktop wallpaper calendar offering, also free. So again, you can go to the free downloads link and grab that. It includes 12 images you can set as your computer or laptop background for your desktop. Each month has the days listed out. And even better, each month includes a code for 25% off a print of that month's featured image for the duration of the month. So it's a great way to hopefully get some photos you like on your desktop background. And if you would like a print of any of the photos, you can save some money by doing that. I have put out 2 additional blog posts. So if you're not subscribed to my newsletter or follow along on my blog post page, you can go check those out. Again, I'll link them down below. Sorry, this video is a little bit of a plugging for my various offerings, because I want you to know I have been doing things. But my latest blog post is all about going into your older files and having appreciation for any hidden gems or hidden gold, which is the title of the post, within those files that you can pull out and process, or maybe reprocess, or get over hurdles with processing. These are all things I've kind of encountered with some of my own older files, either very heavy-handed processing in a style I don't do anymore, so I wanted to revisit some things, I had some images that I've tried to process time and time again, and just nothing would click, and I could never get it across the finish line. And then I've got some older files that, frankly, I just overlooked. My vision has changed. My preferences have changed. Maybe when I was going through older files at the time, I just somehow overlooked them, missed them, whatever. And going back through everything, I was able to pull those out and process them within Lightroom. And with that blog post, I released nearly 40 new images there as well. So between my fall portfolio and the ebook and this hidden gold blog post, I've got almost 80 new images out there for you to see. I am sharing them on social media, but I'm doing them in the blog and in that ebook first. Again, just as a little bit more cohesive way to share them. And obviously, I'm not going to flood social media with 80 new images in the span of like a week or two. So you can go check that out. And then more related to this particular channel, since much of this channel has been focused to Lightroom and Lightroom Classic, a couple months ago, I put out a blog post. Really, the goal of it was to explain how I work with Lightroom Classic, since my Lightroom catalog is based on my desktop computer here at home, but I go out and travel. And generally, I want to be able to import files while I'm on the road, start reviewing them, start rating them, occasionally start editing them, but also it's my way of kind of backing things up as I'm on the go. That means I've got Lightroom Classic on my laptop as well, and I need to be able to get those images and that catalog information, ratings, any edits I've done, etc., off of the laptop and into my primary home Lightroom Classic catalog. So that's the main intent of the blog post, but I do go into details about the Lightroom catalog in general, what it is, why it's so important to make sure you're backing it up and protecting it, so on and so forth. So if you're not familiar with the inner workings of Lightroom and the database it operates on, you can read that blog post. If you know all that stuff, but you're curious how I manage my travel catalogs and merging them with my home catalog, you can get that information as well. But again, the point of this is to let you know what I've been doing, let you know what you can go out and find. If you don't follow me on social media outside of YouTube or anything like that, if you're not subscribed to my newsletter already, which you can do via the link below as well, that's the rundown of what I've been up to. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Have come to a couple things or a couple realizations, I think, through this whole process of having a lot going on in my personal life outside of photography, and then trying to manage things with the photography business as well. Now that I'm trying to do this full time. I just got back from a trip to Utah. I canceled that one in fall, but I decided to go ahead and get back there for a spring, which really turned into more of a winter 2023 trip. So I got back from Utah about a week ago. My plan on that trip was I really wanted to do some in-field video work, ideally tutorials, maybe behind the scenes. And I didn't really do anything. I didn't do any of that. I did social media type stuff. So I shared a lot on social media, on my Instagram stories, on my Facebook page, of just phone snapshots and kind of stories about my day and things like that. But I just couldn't bring myself to do any video work. And I think the realization I've had there is, given my style of photography and what I want to get out of my photography, which obviously it's the end result of the photos, but also it's my mental therapy, it's my peace of mind, my mindfulness, whatever you want to call it. It's my creative outlet, obviously, although doing videos is kind of a creative outlet, but not the same. Anytime I try to add video into the mix in the field, all of that other stuff, all the good stuff that comes out of the photography side, it doesn't fall apart, but it certainly suffers. I'm a very reactive photographer. I don't go out with a planned shot in mind. I go out to an area and kind of see what comes my way, see what comes to me. And doing video on top of that can be very difficult because maybe the light's changing quickly, or the conditions in general are changing quickly, or it's windy and I got to catch that brief moment when the wind takes a break. Adding video into all of that takes me completely out of any kind of opportunity for mindfulness, for a flow state, from a creativity standpoint. I'm not going to stand here and say I'm never going to do in-field video, but I think I'm going to take that pressure off of myself because it stresses me out when I'm intending to do it and then I don't, because I get in the moment with the photography side of things. The other realization I've had is last year, I believe it was last year, might have been late 2021, I relaunched my Lightroom in a Snap series, which are those quicker, kind of like one quick tip kind of thing, get you in and out in anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. I was trying to do those weekly for a while. And honestly, I don't like having that pressure of having to come up with ideas and content and recording and everything like that. It might be the best thing to do in terms of growing my channel as I approach 5,000 subscribers. I'd frankly probably be over that by now if I was more consistent in releasing videos. But I want to provide you all with quality videos, whether the tutorials, whether it's my Making the Image series, which I am hoping to expand in the coming weeks and months, where it's more conceptual about what I saw in the field and then how I approached it from a post-processing standpoint. I want that stuff to be quality. I don't want to just be churning out content for the sake of churning out content. And if that means my growth is a little slower, so be it. I think it takes that mental pressure and just that cloud that was hanging over my head a lot of weeks where I was like, oh, I got to come up with an idea, or I've got the idea and I got to record it and I got to spend hours editing it, because the rule of thumb with video is for every minute of video you see, I probably spend 30 to 60 minutes editing that 1 minute. So if I put out a 30-minute tutorial, you can be looking at 30, 40 hours of work. So that's a lot of pressure for, so how do I want to say this? That's a lot of work, and I'm doing it because I want to help my viewers, learn Lightroom or learn more conceptual concepts, learn new ideas about photography, taking photos, editing photos, and what have you. But also the reality is I'm trying to earn a living off of photography now. And I could spend 40 hours working on a video, and over the course of the first 6 to 12 months, I might make $25 off ad revenue. That's not to say I don't get the super thanks and PayPal donations and that. Some of you have been very, very gracious with that, and I certainly appreciate it. But the ROI right now at my channel size of video is not great. So it's really a labor of love in doing it because I like doing it. But when I put the pressure of trying to put out a weekly video or a bi-weekly video or twice a month, whatever, it's not so much a labor of love, it's just a labor. So you may not see weekly videos, monthly videos, whatever going forward. I'm hoping at least once a month, but I'm going to take that burden off of me, so to speak, and just worry about when I feel I can deliver the quality content that I want to deliver and that you deserve to have presented to you. So I am rambling. Anybody that's listened all the way through this or watched all the way through this, thank you. You are a very tolerant human being. But again, just recap. I've got the free ebook, An Explosion of Color. Go to the free downloads link down below. You can grab that. You can also grab the 2023 desktop calendar downloads for free. I've still got copies of the folio available, including at the lowest price point. What else? I've got the 2 new blog posts, the one on Lightroom catalog, specifically managing it when you're traveling, but also some additional information on catalogs. And then that hidden gold blog post where I dove into the archive, so to speak. And I talk a little bit about that too, and why I hate the term dumpster diving that photographers like to throw around and things like that. So you can check out that blog post as well. And other than that, my next task is, again, get back on the wagon, so to speak, with videos. And I've also got almost 1,700 files I got to start reviewing from the Utah trip I just got back from. So lots to come. Hoping to maybe put together a fall workshop or 2 for the first time. So if you're interested in learning in the field with me, subscribe to my newsletter and keep tabs on what's going on there. I've got to figure out some logistical things, but fingers crossed, I really want to start doing that from an educational standpoint. And yeah, again, I am rambling. It's getting hot in here. I'm sweating. So instead of taking off all my clothes, I'm going to end the video. And as always, until next time, take care. Do you want to be on YouTube? Huh? I don't know that I can pick you up. Here. Oh, you're not going to like this. I should have closed my office door. Okay, come on, let's get up.